Hello everyone, welcome to my Chanel BTG Gossip 24. Kill asks Nicole for another date, and Haley convinces Bill not to go to the hospital. Bill and Thomas go over a will and talk about what a pisser their client was. He teaches the younger man about how to give their clients the legacy they want to leave behind. He wants Thomas to draft the next client's will. Bill gets a text about someone becoming engaged. Bill finds it romantic that it was in public and says Pauline doubled her reach by marrying Jared. She was the frontrunner for partner until Thomas came along. She might snatch that position from him still. Thomas and Bill talk wills. At Orphe Jean's, a woman stops Martin about serving his community. He gives her a card, thanks her and sits with Kat. She's concerned he's ready to read her the riot act. He's not, and explains that Ted gave him advice yesterday. He says he was protecting Samantha at Kat's expense and it wasn't okay. Kat takes partial blame but not the Eva parts. She admits she made a mistake in thinking that Eva was trying to help Samantha get on birth control, and how she realizes Sam was working with Eva at a free clinic. Martin asks why Sam would go to Eva. Kat says his kid thought Leslie could help since she's wealthy. She also knows Leslie is using charity to make herself look good. Kat sees Martin Orphe's. Martin purses his lips at that, but Kat goes on to say she doesn't like how she gets around Eva. All that's happening is she's fighting with her family and ruining things with Thomas. She admits he asked her to move in but she thinks it's too soon. Martin tells her he and Smitty moved in fast and put in the work. Kat worries that if Thomas really knew the real her, he wouldn't like her anymore. Martin thinks she should let him see all of her. He feels sorry for not being so close with her. He's putting personal time on his calendar, he says, and asks to do that with her. Martin and Kat bond. At Uptown, Ashley admits to Naomi that her talk with Danny went well, and left them on good terms. Jacob and Derek appear. Ashley tells Naomi about Danny. Derek has lost the hockey stick and is now using a cane to walk. He thinks the stick suited him. Jacob's baffled. Derek's there to celebrate his wins and stops in his tracks when he sees his ex. Derek lost the hockey stick. Ashley calls them over, thinking they can be friends. They sit together and things are friendly. She heard Cheryl made a move and admits she knew his co-worker had a crush on him. Derek sits back in his seat and stops smiling. He refuses to comment so she backs down. Things get awkward, and Naomi thinks that them sitting together is a win. The women go, and Derek sighs and wonders if Ashley was jealous of Cheryl. Jacob says, "Are you kidding me?" He tells him to let go of all that. Let her go. Derek doesn't get it so Jacob spells it out. He doesn't want Derek moving on with Cheryl just to make Ashley jealous. Ashley makes things weird. Laura runs into Eva at the cafeteria. She stops and Eva says not to worry. Her mom isn't with her. In a breathy voice, Laura complains about looking over her shoulder and rants about Leslie, who thinks she's above the law. She's worried that Leslie will snuff out this loose end soon. Eva juts her chin out. She's sorry for what happened to her but defends her mama and points out that Leslie behaved herself at Winterfest. Laura knows. Someone was paid to watch her. Laura snipes. Eva's astounded, realizing it was Marcel. She talks about her guilt over what she and Leslie did. Laura knows about how it is being with one parent against the universe. She admits she thought Eva and Ted had a nice time at the party. Eva confides she used to dream of her father and that night she felt like his princess. Laura bonds with Eva over it, feeling wistful about missing her mother. Eva talks to Laura about Leslie. Loan donuts to the police department. He can't have her there looking the way she looks, he tells her, taking in her outfit. They flirt and he reminds her he has a wife. She's surprised he remembers he's married and keeps flirting. He tells her she's tempting fate. There are a lot of people there who want to put some jewelry on her. She thinks they can play good cop or bad cop. He can put that jewelry on her. She exits, telling Elon they left her a donut, and when she's gone, Elon chastises Malone for talking to that woman. Malone claims he's helping Jacob close the book on Leslie Thomas. Elon promised the mayor to bring up their arrest rate. Malone thinks Leslie's on the hook at least but assures the chief he's not on the hook with her. Leslie and Malone flirt. At the hospital, Chelsea brings Madison an apology coffee. Madison thinks she can be herself with her girlfriend, and she's going nowhere. They are little glad they argued because of how they made up. There are no power plays. They kiss and leave together since Madison's patient is a no-show. Chelsea with apology coffee. Eva arrives at the club and Thomas runs to say hello. They discuss their love of the books. Bill interrupts and Eva dashes off. Bill comments on how close they are. Thomas shrugs and calls Eva a friend. Bill cautions that friends can be trouble. Breaking Kat's heart is the last thing he wants to do if he's aiming for a partner. Thomas stares after Eva and goes back to his table where Bill tells Thomas to prove he is into just Kat. Thomas has photos of their weekend trip, and Bill says a trip isn't the same as putting a ring on it. Thomas says it's not for lack of trying to get her to move in with him. Eva and Thomas talk. Leslie arrives and sits with her daughter. She's not happy to hear Eva ran into Laura and tells her about Marcel being hired to watch her. Leslie doesn't mind since she has an angle of her own. Why can't they have a cop in their back pocket? You don't stop, even now, Eva says. She brings up Laura again and didn't like how bad Laura was feeling. Leslie says it's why she needs Malone close to her. Eva's upset that her mom doesn't care how hard it was to talk Laura down. Leslie scared the girl, and she wonders how her mom could torture her with her gaze. She should do more with her second chance. Leslie doesn't look like she cares, so their conversation turns to talk about where they'll have the free clinic. Leslie knows who to go to about that. Leslie talks black magic. Back at their table, Bill pressures Thomas to decide on a woman and stick with her. Thomas asks how to convince Kat that they are ready for marriage. Bill says to be there for the real her, to let her trust him with her heart. Whatever obstacles she throws, Thomas should handle them like he's not going anywhere. Thomas wants help marrying Kat. Naomi and Ashley head to the cafeteria, where Ashley feels bad about breaking up the foursome. They chat about the breakup and talk turns to Naomi's issues with Jacob and their kid thing. They joke about how they'd never quit each other and share a friend's moment over being besties since childhood. They embrace. Leslie and Marcel are playing a dangerous game, plus, Kat reconnects with Martin. Crossing paths at the coffee shop, Laura wants nothing to do with Eva or her crazy mom. During their exchange, Laura lets slip that Marcel was paid by the Dupree family to stick close to Leslie at Winterfest. At that exact moment, Leslie is swinging by the cop shop to offer Marcel a sweet treat in the form of donuts with a side of light flirtation. She points out that he talks more about his boat than his wife, and Marcel suggests a lot of people would like to see her behind bars. Eva warns her mother that she's flying too close to the sun, and that her past sins will come home to roost. Leslie explains that's why she's cozying up to Marcel. I need him to protect and serve me, she admits, going on to encourage Eva to get closer to Laura. When Elon weighs they need to bring up their arrest rate, Marcel says he's working on proving Leslie guilty. Bill has lunch with Thomas, teasing him with the possibility of a partnership. One caveat, warns the boss, breaking his niece's heart would be a bad move. Of course, this warning comes after Bill sees his young associate talking with Eva, who is at the club to meet her mom. Bill wants assurances that Thomas and Kat are on track, and it seems kinda obvious that Thomas is talking moving in for his career. Martin and Kat get together at Orphe Jean's, and although things start out tense, they slowly find common ground. She admits that things are happening way too soon with Thomas. If he really knew me, the real me, maybe he wouldn't like me anymore, she muses pensively. But her brother suggests letting Thomas see and know and love the real her. You are more than just the challenges on the surface, he reminds. By the end of the episode, they've agreed to prioritize their sibling relationship by carving out more time for one another. To that end, she even blows off a call from Thomas. Ashley is with Naomi at Uptown when Derek and Jacob arrive. The exes say that they are totally moving on, and while things are a little uncomfortable, it's not nearly as bad as it could have been. Ashley later tells Naomi it feels as if by ending things with Derek, she broke up the Four Musketeers. And Derek admits to Jacob he still wants Ashley to have feelings for him. Jacob wants his buddy to move on, but says to be careful before pursuing Cheryl. Otherwise, he could wind up ruining his work life, too. And Naomi admits that she and Jacob aren't over their issues yet. It seems that the walk we saw Chelsea and Madison about to go on earlier this week was a healing one. The pair are back on track, with Madison glad they fought as it helped them work through some issues. Leslie. Don't call me again tonight. You know the rules, Marcel. A beat. She closes her eyes, she shouldn't answer, but she does. Marcel. We're past rules, Leslie. It's already in motion. Meet me. 10 minutes. Leslie curses under her breath. Smash cut to. Kat stands under an umbrella, staring out at the dark waves. Martin approaches slowly, unsure. Martin. You said you wanted to talk. Kat exhales, not turning yet. Kat. I didn't say I wanted to. I said I needed to. Their eyes finally meet, heavy history between them. The office lights are low. Marcel stands by the window, watching the street. Leslie storms in. Leslie. You said this was urgent. It better be. Marcel. Everything with us is urgent. Leslie glares. Leslie. Cut the games. What did you find? Marcel steps closer, lowering his voice. Marcel. Your sister. She's been digging again. Leslie's face goes cold. Leslie. Eva doesn't know anything. She suspects. That's different. Marcel. Suspicion is enough. If she gets close to what happened at the harbor, we both burn. Leslie clenches her jaw. Leslie. Then we make sure she doesn't get close. She moves toward the door. Marcel grabs her wrist, not rough, but dangerous. Marcel. This is bigger than you think. And you're not walking away from me. Leslie pulls free. Leslie. Watch me. She exits. Marcel watches her leave with a dark, unreadable expression. Rain continues, now softer. Kat and Martin stand side by side, tension thick. Martin. I didn't expect to hear from you after everything. Kat. Neither did I. But here we are. Martin shoves his hands in his pockets. Martin. Is this about the divorce papers? Or about? Kat. It's about us. Or what's left. A beat. Kat. I'm tired of pretending you didn't matter. And I'm tired of acting like what you did didn't break me. Martin's eyes soften. Martin. I never wanted to hurt you. Kat laughs, small, pained. Kat. Maybe. But you did. Martin. I want to make it right, Kat. Whatever it takes. Kat studies him, unsure whether to believe him. Laura flips through a stack of papers on the coffee table. EVA enters quietly, holding 2 mugs of tea. EVA. Couldn't sleep? Laura. Smiles weakly. Never can when you're pacing like a storm cloud. Eva sits, offering her a mug. EVA. I've been thinking. About Mom. About that night at the docks. Laura stiffens. Laura. Let it go, Eva. Eva looks directly at her, sharp, suspicious. EVA. You always tell me that. And every time you do, it makes me think you're hiding something. Laura freezes. Laura. I'm protecting you. EVA. From what? Laura doesn't answer. EVA. Laura, please. I need the truth. Laura stands abruptly. Laura. The truth destroys people. And I'm not losing you too. Eva watches her leave the room, more certain than ever that Laura is lying. Leslie hurries down the hall. Her heels echo. She pulls out her phone, calls someone. Leslie. I need you to keep an eye on Eva. Discreetly. Call me if she talks to anyone from the Harbor Authority. She hangs up and turns a corner. And runs right into Marcel. He blocks her path. Marcel. Going somewhere? Leslie exhales in frustration. Leslie. Home. Away from you. Marcel. You're making this personal. Leslie. It is personal, Marcel. You dragged me into this mess. Marcel. You stepped into it willingly. She pushes past him. He lets her, but watches like a predator. Martin steps closer to Kat, but not too close. Martin. Just tell me what you want from me. Kat looks out at the waves. Kat. An explanation. Beat. You left without a word. One night we're planning a future, the next, gone. Martin's expression shifts. Guilt, pain. Martin. I was scared. I thought you'd be better off without me. Kat. You don't get to decide that. A long beat. Kat. I don't know if I can forgive you. But part of me wants to try. Martin's breath catches. Martin. I'll earn it. However long it takes. Kat looks at him, really looks. A flicker of old warmth. Laura sits on the edge of her bed, fists clenched. She dials a number she hasn't called in months. Voice. This is Marcel. Laura shuts her eyes, regret. Laura. It's me. We need to talk. Marcel. Of course we do. Laura hangs up immediately, breath shaking. Laura. What have I done? Laura enters stiffly. Marcel leans against his desk. Marcel. To what do I owe this pleasure? Laura. Eva's getting close. Too close. Marcel raises a brow. Marcel. I warned Leslie. Laura. Leslie doesn't control Eva anymore. I do. Marcel laughs. Marcel. You can't even control your sister's curiosity. Laura steps forward, eyes fierce. Laura. Keep my family out of your mouth. Marcel's expression sharpens. Marcel. Careful, Laura. You're the one who begged me to help cover everything up. If you're having second thoughts, that's your problem. Not mine. Laura's breath trembles. Laura. If this blows up, we all go down. Marcel smiles darkly. Marcel. Then make sure it doesn't. Laura storms out, shaken. Kat walks toward her car. Martin follows a few steps behind. Martin. Can we talk again tomorrow? Maybe, breakfast at Jose's? Kat hesitates. Kat. Maybe. She gets into the car and drives off. Martin watches her go with a glimmer of hope. Leslie enters, soaked from rain. She locks the door, drops her bag, and collapses on the couch. Her phone buzzes again. Text from unknown. You can't run from this, Leslie. Her blood runs cold. Leslie. What do you want from me? Another message. Same thing as always. Loyalty. Leslie deletes the thread, terrified. Eva pours coffee. She's been up all night. Laura enters, trying to act normal. EVA. Morning. Laura. You didn't sleep. EVA. Neither did you. Laura flinches. Eva sets down her mug. EVA. I'm not dropping this. And if you won't tell me the truth, I'll find it myself. Laura grabs her arm, firm but desperate. Laura. Eva, don't you understand? The truth isn't safe. Eva pulls back. EVA. What truth is ever safe? She walks out, leaving Laura shaking. Leslie enters and freezes. Marcel is waiting for her. Marcel. We need to align stories before Eva finds anything. Leslie. I'm done aligning with you. Marcel. You don't get to be done. Leslie squares her shoulders. Leslie. Watch me. She turns to leave, but Marcel steps in front of her. Marcel. If you walk away now, I won't protect you when this breaks open. Leslie stops cold. Leslie. You were never protecting me. Just yourself. She pushes past him. Marcel watches her go with a dangerous expression, calculating. Act 5. Extension Martin's house, afternoon. Kat hesitates at the door before knocking. Martin opens, surprised but hopeful. Martin. Kat? Kat. Don't get excited. I'm not rushing into anything. Martin. Of course. Kat enters slowly. Kat. But I meant what I said last night. Part of me wants to try. Just, don't make me regret giving you another chance. Martin's eyes soften. Martin. I won't. I swear. A small, tender moment hangs between them. Leslie types quickly, pulling up encrypted files. Heart racing. Leslie. Come on, come on. She finds a folder labeled Harbor, Incident Night. She clicks. Photos. Reports. A security video file. Leslie's hand shakes. She whispers. Leslie. If Eva sees this, it's over. The office door slams open. Marcel. Marcel. What do you think you're doing? Leslie turns the screen away. Leslie. I'm ending this. Before it kills us all. Marcel steps forward. Marcel. You're in deeper than you realize. And if you cross me, remember who knows what you did. Leslie's eyes narrow. Leslie. And remember who knows what you did. They stare each other down. Eva sits alone. Laptop open. She searches. Harbor Authority. Unreported incidents, June. Something pops up. A restricted news clip. She clicks. It buffers. Then. A blurry image of the dock. A figure that looks like. Laura. Eva gasps. EVA. Laura, what did you do?